All right, let's watch what Charlie Kirk had to say. You know, Charlie Kirk loves America, right? He loves the American working class. Let's see what he had to say about the working class who are having a hard time paying their rent right now.
Hi, Charlie. You know what I'm curious about? What are these people doing with their stimulus checks and enhanced unemployment? Since apparently they aren't paying their rent and utilities. My husband, son, and I have not missed one day of work since this started and paid our bills on time with each month without government assistance. Makes me so angry. Chastity. This is why I was never for this eviction moratorium. Take some personal responsibility. If the government is going to send out free money in every direction, and if the government is also going to have massive unemployment, and we also have a very generous social welfare state, way too generous, way too big.
Yeah, dude, totally. The only time that our social welfare was generous was during COVID, when it needed to be. And I talked about it at the time. The unemployment, the extra unemployment insurance was fucking solid. Better than comparable nations. It was literally solid if you could get it. And it was. And most people that were on unemployment at the time would probably tell you that it was solid. Don't say generous in air quotes. It was. If you could fucking literally get, if you could actually receive the extra $600, like, dude, are you kidding me? Do you know how many fucking people I know that literally saved their lives as a consequence of that? It was generous as fuck. It's literally the reason why so many people are like, I'm never going to do this ever again. So many people, unironically, were able to lift themselves up from the destitute conditions that they were subjected to. America has a huge welfare state. Bitch, I live in Finland and nobody here says it's too generous. No, America's welfare state is not gigantic. But having said that, the unemployment insurance was very good. It was actually good. And I said it at the time, and I will say it. I will say it all the way down. I was making more on unemployment than I make as a line cook working 40 hours a week. Exactly, dude. Exactly. And that got so many people to recognize their position in society. That got so many people to reflect. Like, holy fuck, dude. I'm taking shit every goddamn day. I'm working fucking 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours a goddamn week as a line cook. I'm getting fucking berated nonstop. My job has so many different angles that I need to cover. It's ruining my fucking physical health. It's ruining my mental health. Of course, I'm not going to fucking go back to work for less pay. And business owners still can't comprehend that. They're like, what the fuck? Why won't you come back to work? I don't understand. Like, dude, are you kidding me? Offer better benefits, better workplace conditions, okay? And most importantly, more pay. And people will come back. And I love the New York Times article on this. The New York Times daily podcast on this particular issue was wonderful, dude. I highly recommend it. I can't stand Mike Barbaro, but that was a really, really good fucking story. It made me so happy watching these, listening to these fucking restaurant owners crying about how people just won't come back to their fucking jobs as though they're supposed to fucking work by some intrinsic virtue
My dad's job shut down last year
that exists with grueling labor. Like, what kind of... I can't believe these people. They're such scumbags. They're just like fucking not coming back to work, said the small business owners. Okay? And it's like, dude, those very same small business owners would then talk about how fucking backbreaking the labor was because they had to fulfill those roles themselves. Thank you for the 550 subs, lol, in your face. They would literally talk about how they had to pick up shifts and do double shifts and fucking clean the dishes themselves and shit like that. And I was like, dude, how do you not recognize that, like, that's literally the reason? Because you won't pay these motherfuckers more to clean the goddamn dishes. Like, why should they come to work? Why should they come to work if there's a alternate, like, if there's an alternative out there? Like, it's your investment. You get all of the fucking profits. So, of course, from your point of view, it's like, why isn't everyone coming back to work? Well, bitch, it's not their fucking investment. It's not their baby. They're just providing value for you. There's no value without labor, and they're providing that labor in return for wages. So if you don't improve the conditions or increase those wages, of course they're not going to come back to work. Why should they? I thought that's how the fucking free market worked. The first time that you as a small business owner have to operate like a worker simultaneously while you're like running your small business and you're literally losing your fucking mind, dude, it should be a wake-up call for you on how fucking backbreaking and punishing and crippling that fucking work is, and that you should do everything you can to fucking eradicate your profit margin to be able to justify having a sustainable business where you have happy workers that will work in your business. Because welfare, in the American understanding, is just a mechanism to ensure that you don't wither away or riot and are still able to go back to work. Like, the welfare mechanism is not actually for welfare as the name intends in the United States. So for the first time ever, when we actually had a welfare state that literally fucking did welfare, all hell broke loose. And now, despite the fact that the unemployment insurance is being capped earlier than when it was slated to end in most of these states, thank you, Emily Platt, for the 521 gift subs, people are still not going back to work. Now, on top of that, now we are trying, or the commerce and real estate is trying, the real estate industry is trying to push people out of their fucking homes and evict them so they are destitute. Like, they literally have to get forced pretty much at fucking gunpoint or at the threat of the threat of structural violence in the form of poverty, so they will go back to work at these fucking grueling jobs, these backbreaking jobs that they do where they get shit on by every other fucking human being as a part of your job. And that's insane to me. And they're so open about it. Like, these business owners, they like literally straight up say, they're like, no, we want the government to intervene or interfere in the free market because, you know, they literally cause people to not die when they don't work. So now people don't want to come back and work. So you have to help us by forcing them into a condition where, like, they literally have no other option but to work in these fucking jobs. They were almost as open as I am at the top of the hour, where I tell you it's time for a 60-second ad break. There.
Way too overbearing. Then why also do we need to have the people that refuse to pay their rent not be able to be evicted? You know what you're...
Because do you want more homeless people? Charlie, I thought you thought homelessness was terrible. Do you want more homeless people? Like, you want 6 million people to be homeless, dude? Seems like a lot of homeless people, dude. That cause additional problems, no? I'm confused. Like,
you're really doing is you're destroying the small level scale rental market in our country. Is you're destroying the ability for business owners that might have 10 or 12 tenants and they're making revenue off of that and they have to pay a lot in property taxes.
Bro, here's what I got to say, dude. That's an investment, motherfucker. Okay? That's an investment, dude. Sometimes investments fail. You took the risk. This fucking small-faced bandit loves talking about fucking risk all the time. He's like, as a justification for why business owners deserve all the profits. He loves talking about the risk that business owners are taking. Why won't anybody think about the risk? It's like, we never think about the risk that workers are taking as well. The greatest risk a business owner has is to go back to being a fucking worker when his goddamn business fails, okay? That's the risk. They should do it. Now, having said that, do I care about, like, you know, fucking grandma and grandpa that have like one extra fucking unit and that's their entire, like, they can't go back to work and that's their entire livelihood? Of course I do. Guess what? There's a way to fucking help those people, okay?
You're destroying that entire business model. And what it really does is it subsidizes bad behavior. If you're at the point right now and you're in August of 2021 and you still have not paid enough rent where they want to evict you, you got some serious financial problems. You should not be living there. You should be.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on.
I'm in a car.
I don't understand this argument. You have serious financial problems, so you should be homeless? Like, what is this argument, dude? That's crazy. That's actually fucking nuts. That like people watch this guy and go, yeah, that's a good take, brother.
Be evicted, especially with all the assistance that's been available to you. Instead, we're penalizing the people that have been paying their rent. I want you to think about this. The people that have been paying their rent, you know what they should be asking? Why did I pay my rent?
Yeah, they should.
Why did I do that? Now, it could harm your credit, but actually, Connor, can you look into this? I don't think they were allowed to put strikes against your credit. Am I right? Is that correct? So why even pay your rent? If you rent in the last year and a half, you're a sucker. If you pay rent, you didn't need to. Because I don't think there was any downside. Is that right, Connor? So you got a bunch of people that...
It's going to be awesome when there's like actual debt relief too, on top of everything else. Like, where they're going to have to pay the rent. Like, the government is going to have to fucking swoop in and unironically pay the rent for them for all the months that they haven't paid. They're going to be so butthurt. But, like, there's no other way. I mean, the worst thing that could possibly happen will usually happen in American politics, right? So that means that they will probably pay off all the fucking debts and then the landlords will still evict them regardless.
That have been living literally rent-free. I know that sounds, because that's like an expression, rent-free. But if you've been paying your rent, all that money you could have spent on other stuff, and there would be nothing used against you.
Great. I don't understand. Cool.